India is the second most active nation that uses LinkedIn.
It's a digital gold rush where 4 million people are chasing fame through a 6-inch screen.
I was sitting on my bed in my comfort zone doing this job in Accenture, and I just thought that why not to start something of my own. On Instagram, the only DMs I used to receive as a girl are very common, either from men or very bad comments. But on LinkedIn, people see you for your credibility, for your expertise, how real you are.
How do you take that first step to get started as a content creator?
Only 1% of people are actively on LinkedIn and creating content.
What does smart networking mean on LinkedIn?
Being real really helps in networking. You should know the human first and not just have a purpose before actually connecting. The fact that I'm here is because of networking. The fact my life has changed is just because of LinkedIn.
Every single person feels like a writer on LinkedIn these days. How does one crack the LinkedIn brand collaborations?
Brand collaborations on LinkedIn is a very different game and not just like Instagram. By now, I've collaborated with 40 plus brands. You can actually get paid more if you are a very authentic and credible creator. Even brands look for credibility more than your followers.
What is the difference between creating a personal brand and creating a personal brand that truly lasts for a longer period of time?
The lifespan of creators is not very long. Mostly for 2 to 3 years you can last. People just chase trends. Trends can never make you timeless. You will get a lot of followers, likes, comments, but people would forget you after that trend.
I think I was some 10, 11 years old when I discovered the concept of internet for the very first time. One of my cousins, who's about to get married the next month, he showed me a tab of Google. He told me, whatever you want to search, just search for it. You will get it. So at first I thought he might be joking. The first term that I ever searched on Google was of Doraemon. And I discovered images of it. Then I went on to discover Facebook through my sister, who would connect with her friends, her college friends, share images online, and on those lines. Then something that I discovered, which has largely changed my life, which is YouTube. I discovered the likes of PewDiePie, Casey Neistat, he's an American vlogger, and started replicating them. And when I went to college, Instagram is what popped up. And in this entire scheme of my internet journey, LinkedIn is what happened at last for me, because I never really understood the concept of this platform. I never knew how to use it, and largely I kept ignoring it until the need came for me to search for a job because my college life was coming to an end. And that's when I discovered the concept of LinkedIn. And my first proper corporate job is what showed me the potential of LinkedIn, how it can be a powerful tool. And what I realized is the fact that it's not just like any other social media. So, to begin with, what I would like to know from you is, as somebody who has been a part of this platform for nearly 2 years and acing this game, how, according to you, is LinkedIn different from any other social media platform?
So I would say that I discovered LinkedIn. Like I knew I had a LinkedIn account, but I think in college I never knew that what LinkedIn is all about. I had almost like 1,000 followers, but I exactly didn't knew that what capacity it has or how we can actually grow on LinkedIn. So I started my LinkedIn journey. I remember I was sitting on my bed in my comfort zone and I was just opening my laptop and I was just doing this job in Accenture. I was working in Accenture and I just thought that why not to start something of my own or to start just share my online journey, because at that time I had so much to share, because the thing was I came from a tier 3 city and then from a tier 3 college and then got placed. So I had some things to share that it was very difficult for me to get out of a conservative family environment, and to like first job it was in Mumbai, so it's very difficult for us as a woman to actually go and pursue that job. So I was sitting on my bed. I still remember the first post that I made was that I got my first job in Mumbai and I come from a tier 3 city, and it was so difficult for me to just go to that city and convince my parents that I'm actually going for a job that's not high paying, that's a very minimum job, but I just want that I should have a lot amount of experience. So I think that way I made my first post on LinkedIn without any intention that I really want to be viral, I really want to have 50,000 followers, or I want to make money. Literally I had nothing in my mind. The only things I was having in my mind was I just need to start. I just need to start very differently, because before that I was creating content on Instagram, some fashion and all. I was collaborating with some few of the brands, but I was not happy. I knew that I just wanted to share something that's very real on my part, and that's how I discovered LinkedIn, and I made my first post. And I still remember that post got almost 300 likes, and I was like, oh my god, can we literally post on LinkedIn and people are literally liking my post? And I had no idea why they were liking. Maybe because of my corporate background, or maybe because of the journey that I shared.
Had
So
you seen that number before of 300 likes?
300 likes I had seen, but mostly on Instagram. And on
Okay.
Instagram, you know, if we post our glamorized pictures or aesthetics lifestyle, you will get a 300 like. But on LinkedIn, it was pretty different. I was like, can we actually post something and people would really like that? So that was my first initial post. I still remember it was from a picture from Accenture only. I was standing there and I just posted that how I came from a very small city and then I got my first job in Mumbai, and how it was really difficult for me to convince everyone in my family that why I must leave my home and go to this job. And that's how I discovered LinkedIn.
So, what is different about LinkedIn? You have used Instagram, you have used YouTube, Facebook. So, why LinkedIn?
I have been always on social media. I discovered Facebook since I was 16. I even started to post pictures on there. So even on Instagram, I always used to love this fashion and all. I used to just post content. I wanted to be a fashion creator, but the life had some different plans. So I would say LinkedIn is a completely different platform. It's not just about Instagram, and it's not like Instagram. On Instagram, people see you for your aesthetics, for your lifestyle, for how you present yourself in a very glamorized way. But on LinkedIn, people see you for your credibility, for your expertise, for how real you are. Because, of course, if anyone is on LinkedIn, that's for a solid purpose. And if anyone is on Instagram, that's just because they want to flex their lifestyle, or they just want to show off their clothes and where they have been, which trip they have took, or maybe where they are traveling. But on LinkedIn, if you are there, so there's a solid reason behind it. Either you want a very good job, or either you really want to connect with industry people. So I would say that LinkedIn is a big credibility engine. Like, people follow you only if you have a solid credibility. If suppose you have something and you have just come to me for a podcast, you might be saying that she has a credibility. She has worked in Accenture, then left the job, then she has somewhat around 40,000 followers. So I would say LinkedIn is a big credibility engine. On Instagram, people cannot trust you. Like, there are so many Instagram creators, but you wouldn't be able to trust them based on their pictures or personality. But on LinkedIn, people share their own journey. They are working in these big corporates. So, how they started from a corporate job, how they left their job. So, it's a whole credibility engine. So, I would say on LinkedIn, I came, it was a whole different game. You get a lot of respect when you actually create content on LinkedIn, because people get inspired from that content. So on Instagram, I used to create content, and the only DMs and messages I used to receive as a girl are very common, either from men or either some very bad comments or maybe some DMs. But on LinkedIn, it just changed my entire life. My DMs went like, "You inspired me so much. You educated me on this topic," and I feel so relatable that as a girl, I also come from a very conservative background. And your journey inspired me so much that even I can leave my home and I can start something new. So that was something that was very, I could feel very happy, because if other people are getting inspired from your content and you are able to educate other people, it's a whole different game. So I would say LinkedIn is not like Instagram. LinkedIn is something that is more based upon your credibility, how credible you are and how real you are. And people can just trust you on LinkedIn so much, because they know that if you have been placed in a good company, if you are already working somewhere, or you're already sharing your journey, you are someone credible. They can just trust you. So I would say yes, LinkedIn is a very different game and not just like Instagram.
Absolutely. I think sharing your journey, that is a key takeaway that I have also seen in my personal life. Because when I started LinkedIn, like almost 2 years back, even I was clueless, like what exactly should I post? Then I realized the best way to go ahead was to put out the work that I was doing and to establish credibility slowly and steadily. At the same time, what I believe is the fact that LinkedIn as a platform, it's quite underrated. Although it has close to 1 billion users worldwide as of 2024 stats, India is the second most active nation that uses LinkedIn. And 80% of B2B lead conversions happens on LinkedIn. At the same time, a lot of people have misconception. just like me, that it's just a job hunting platform. What, according to you, in your personal observation, are some of the biggest misconceptions that Indians in general have about this platform of LinkedIn?
The biggest misconception that even I was having, that LinkedIn is just a job recruitment platform. Even I was thinking, I initially started creating content on LinkedIn in 2023. It's been like 2 years. So before that, even I thought that LinkedIn is just a job recruitment platform, and we can actually just come on LinkedIn and we have to just search for jobs and nothing else. But LinkedIn is a whole different game. And the fact that LinkedIn content creation is underrated is because most of the people don't know that we can actually create content on LinkedIn. They basically think that LinkedIn is something just for hiring managers to come, recruitment, or to have all of those jobs. And that's the only reason only 1% of people are actually creating content on LinkedIn. And I was just making this video where I discovered this, that only 1% of people are actively on LinkedIn and creating content. And that's the reason, like, so many people still are unaware that LinkedIn is a solid place for you to actually have a credibility. They think that they can start creating content on Instagram, on YouTube, but they think on LinkedIn, why would they even create content? They need a lot amount of experience. One of the second misconception is that you need a lot of experience before actually creating content. Like, you need to have 20 years of experience of being in the industry, and only then you can start creating content. But it's not like that. I started creating content out of nowhere, out of zero. Literally, I just shared my journey, that how I got placed in Accenture. I was from a marketing background. I got a tech job. I was from a tier 3 college. So in that way, I did a storytelling and my post just blew up. So people just think that before actually coming on LinkedIn, you need a solid credibility. You should be an industry figure, or you should have a 20, 30 years of experience, but it's not the case. Even if you don't have anything, you can start creating content on LinkedIn. Even if you are a student, even if you are a working professional, you can just start sharing about your college life. You, as a working professional, you can just share day to day life on your corporate. So even from zero, you can start your content creation journey on LinkedIn, and you don't need to have a solid experience or a large amount of knowledge before actually creating content. So I would say these are the biggest misconceptions that people still have, that it's just a recruitment platform. And the second, that you need to have a lot amount of experience before actually just creating content out there.
Got it. You mentioned a very interesting stat about the fact that how just 1% of people who use LinkedIn are creating content on LinkedIn. I was also a part of the rest 99% once upon a time. I never realized or never understood how to actually start creating content on LinkedIn. And I think that is the problem with the rest 99% as well. They don't know how to get started, or how to take that first move. And that is what holds a lot of people back as far as creating content on LinkedIn is concerned. How do you discover your niche in the first place? And how do you take that first step to get started as a content creator?
The first step that I took was just about sitting on my bed, opening the laptop. I was in a corporate job, so I was doing all of that, but I was not really happy. I knew that I wanted more from life, and I knew I had the potential of something like content creation inside me. Or I just knew that I have a lot of stories to share about myself, which can educate other people or which can inspire other people, because I knew my journey was quite different. Coming from a marketing background and going into a tech job, like I was the only one person from there, like was from a marketing background, and the rest of them were from a tech job. So for me, it was an alien world that I don't know where I'm sitting. And then on the top of that, coming from a tier 3 college, from a tier 3 city, so I had a lot of things to share, which I believed were unique to me. So I would say that before actually creating content on LinkedIn, had nothing in my mind what will be my niche. I just knew one thing, that I need to share my journey. Most of us are still stuck in that zone that they have to just figure it out, what will be my niche. And I still am the person who just discovers and just thinks to myself, I don't know what my niche is. My niche is myself and my own journey, which is basically personal branding. So there are a lot of niche. If you are someone who is very good in finance, or who you are someone who is very good in marketing, so you can go into these niches, which is marketing or finance. But if you are someone who is not having any specific thing, and you are just thinking that I don't have anything special to share, why would people even see my content? So it's not the thing. I just started sharing my own personal journey, and I never knew that it would lead me to so many opportunities. So if you are a kind of a person and you think that you have a very unique story to share, So you can just begin writing content and you can just post everything. You don't really need to have a specific skill set or specific things in your mind that I should start. And most of the people just don't start because they think to themselves that I don't have anything good to start with or share with. It's somewhat like you want to start YouTube, but you just think that first I'll have that camera and I'll have the best tripod, I'll have the best equipments. But the thing is, you really need to start and build that confidence. Until and unless you don't have the right confidence, I don't think so content creation can be for you, because there are a lot of things. You need to be somewhere, you are invited and you need to be on the stage, you need to be like somewhere. But if you don't have the confidence inside you, I don't really think so that it's good to start content creation just for the sake of brand collabs or money. Just don't start, but start because you really like it. So I just started it because I was passionate to storytell and I knew that something's unique about my life, so I'll just start it.
A very interesting perspective that I would like to add to it. There is a theory called as the spotlight effect, which says that people generally feel that the whole world is watching them. They are in a spotlight, and everybody is watching them. So that is what demotivates a lot of people to start, because they start thinking, what would my immediate family members or my immediate friends think if I put out this video? And a lot of people stop there and don't go beyond further. But what I have realized, my own personal journey, and seeing people who have grown along with me, is the fact that our real audience is not our immediate family members or our immediate friends. They are far out there waiting for the content to be discovered. And the ones who are able to crack this code, they are the ones who eventually make it big as creators. In your case, it was people coming from tier 2 city who want to make it big in this city and eventually grow as individuals, and professionals who want to eventually scale up their career. So that is where the underlying factor is. As you very rightly mentioned, it's a process of trial and error. You don't need the best of the setup or the best of the ideas to begin with. We start with the basic mistakes, we learn, we grow, we evolve as individuals, and with time, we realize that we have come a long way ahead. But it's about taking that first initial step and growing as individuals, is what I believe. On that note, I'd like to bring you back to LinkedIn once again, in which the primary aim of a lot of people is networking. For a lot of people, it might just be all about sending out cold messages to people or to hiring managers to hire them. Please give me a job. Even I have done that previously. For some others, it might be all about having the maximum number of connections. The more you have, the better it looks for the outside people. But in reality, what I would like to understand from you is, what does smart networking mean on LinkedIn? Is it about having great followers, or is it about using the platform to create good content and to reach out to the hiring managers and eventually make it big?
I would say smart networking is not just about spamming people with 50 DMs. Hey, can I get a job? Hey, can you please refer me in this company? Hey, can you please do this? Hey, ma'am, can you please help me? So I literally receive so many DMs. Hey, can you please refer me? Hey, can you please do this? And I've been in that shoe. So I know even as a student, it gets so hard for you to get an internship, and you literally want so many people to just give you an internship. So you reach out to so many people, you just spam their DMs with so many DMs, with 50 to 60 DMs. But the thing is, smart networking does not work in that way. If you even spam so many DMs to people, it's unlikely that they would respond, because people are so busy in their own lives, they have no time to actually respond to you and help to you. So I would say, for me, in my case, networking changed my entire life. Like, I was a kind of a person who came from a background which was very conservative, and I never had those friends that I would look up to, and I never had those people that I would actually look up to in my own journey, that they can really help me or I can really get inspired from my journey. So LinkedIn is something that changed my entire life, and networking is something that gave me so much more than I could even imagine. So I would say, for me, networking was something engaging with people in a very actual way, in a very authentic way, in a very credible way, not just spamming their DMs. Hey, I liked your outfit today. Hey, I liked your picture today. Or can you please refer me? Can you please do this? Can you please help me this? I'm not having any job. I'm jobless from 5 to 6 months. Can you please just help me? It won't work that way until and unless you really go to that person, until and unless you really DM them, hey, your journey has been very inspiring. and I can feel you, I can feel your journey. I've been in that shoe, I'm also doing the same thing. Can we just catch up? Can we just catch up on a call? Or can we just discover a lot of things that are very like minded to us? And in that way, you can really network with people. So on LinkedIn, networking is not at all about spamming people, but it's more about creating a very authenticity, I would say credibility, and also engaging with a lot of people. Not only for a purpose of having a job that can you please refer me, I have a solid purpose within myself to actually connect with you, but to just have a soul connection or maybe just like minded connection. So I would say being real really helps in networking. You should know the human first and not just have a purpose before actually connecting. Like if you're really connecting with someone to have a purpose, I really want a job and that's why I'm connecting with you, it won't work. If you want it to be everlasting, you should know what the other person is offering, how inspiring he is, how he is educating you, how he can actually help you in your own journey. So I would say smart networking is all about knowing the person in real life and not just spamming people with 50, 60 DMs. Can you please give me a job? Can you please refer me? It won't work because in this time people are too busy to actually read your DMs and actually help you out. Even if they can refer you, it's very difficult to actually get a job. So instead of that, you can actually engage with people's post, you can comment on the post, you can like the post. If you find it really valuable, you can give a small comment on that this post was really valuable and it helped me in such a way. So in that way, real conversations help more than spamming people's DM, I would say.
Got it. Can you give me one of the examples from your early days in which smart networking has translated into a real life impact for you? Something from your own journey.
I would say the fact that I'm here is because of networking. The fact that I'm here is because of LinkedIn. The fact that I got so many opportunities, the fact my life has changed is just because of LinkedIn. Imagine I skipped my MBA and I had so many people on my head telling me that you won't get anywhere and कुछ भी अच्छा नहीं होगा आपकी लाइफ में if you're not doing a MBA. There were so many people on my head. But it's been 2 years on LinkedIn and my entire life changed. I skipped my MBA and just a week back, just some 2 to 3 weeks back, I was invited in a MBA college and I gave my speaker talk there. So for me, it was crazy, like giving a speaker talk at one of the most biggest MBA colleges, irrespective of you skipped your MBA and you never went for an MBA and you are just going to a MBA college for giving a speech. So how cool is that? And I never imagined me having as a speaker and giving a talk. Even I've given I get these speaker invites, I get these podcast opportunities, I like to network with people, I've been featured. All of this was only possible because of the fact that I started to create content on LinkedIn and I started to network with people. Even though now I have friends, earlier I used to have normal friends, but now I have friends I can literally call that, I have a friend who is a CA, I have a friend who is a founder, I have a friend who is a co-founder. Like life just changed just because of networking and LinkedIn. Even though now I need some help and I'm not sure how to just figure it out, I have people in the industry whom I can connect with and network with. So networking can be a game changer. If you are really starting with zero, it can change your entire life. For me, it really did. And I don't know about other people, but yes, it can change your entire life if you do it in a very good way or better way.
There is a very popular saying which says that the kind of content we consume, that is what shapes our personality. But in your case, I feel that the kind of content we create, that is what shapes our whole ecosystem. Like you started creating content about personal brand, personal growth, and today you have friends who are around that ecosystem. So I think that is the power of content creation, which a lot of people undermine in today's day and age. So I won't go very far, but let's say like 2 years ago, when people would say brand collaborations or social media brand collaborations, the first platform that would come to my mind naturally was Instagram. But in today's day and age, that is changing with LinkedIn influencers coming into being and you being one of them. We discovered the stats previously that LinkedIn has a user base of 1 billion. The second most user base comes from India after the United States. The majority age group being 25 to 34. One of the key things that I feel about LinkedIn is the fact that, as you mentioned, it's a place which commands authority. Like the ones who have experience, the ones who have the expertise, they put out the content and it becomes credible at the end. And that is what brands are looking in today's day and age. They want a creator who can command authority and get them the sales eventually. My question to you is, how does one crack the LinkedIn brand collaborations, And how does this whole ecosystem largely work? Is it similar to the other social media platforms that we see?
No, brand collaborations on LinkedIn is a very different game and not just like Instagram. So I would say I discovered brand collaboration only this year. For one whole year, I never made any money out of LinkedIn because my intent was not to make money or to post content or to be a content creator, but I just started it out of curiosity and also out of boredom because I was just bored in my job and I wanted something more from my life and I knew I had that creativity. So I would say brand collaborations is something that I literally discovered this year, some five months back, because I never knew that you can actually make money out of LinkedIn. So many people, I still remember so many people used to ask me that Anushka, you post daily on LinkedIn. Are you making any money? People are actually giving you money or the app is providing you with money. So the LinkedIn itself doesn't pay you any money. So many people think that if I start getting content on LinkedIn, LinkedIn would pay me money, but it's not the case. It's not YouTube, it's not Snapchat that it would give you money, but on LinkedIn it's a whole different game. And for me to actually figure out brand collaborations, I literally figured it out this year because of my one of my friend, because of networking, that you can actually get brand collaborations and you can actually make money. So I would say that if your profile is very good, if you have a solid credibility, brands would automatically pitch you. Brands would automatically come to you. I remember for the first 2 months, I was literally DMing everyone that how to get the brand collaboration, why I'm not getting any brand collaborations, how to have this, how to have this. But for my 1 month after, I just stopped and I thought to myself that if my content is good, brands would automatically come to me. I don't need to chase them. So the thing on LinkedIn is brands would literally come to you if you're a very authentic creator, if you're a very credible creator. So I would say for the first 2 months, I had some couple of brands I earned about. I still know that I earned almost 3,000 for one brand collab, and I was like, I could actually get paid because for me, money was not the intention to create content, but out of curiosity, I was just creating. But the fact I got that 3,000 was really, I would say it was really surprising to me because I never thought that we could actually do brand collaborations on LinkedIn, because brand collaboration take place on Instagram if you're a lifestyle fashion creator, also on YouTube, but on LinkedIn it's very surprising. Most of the people would not even think that brand collaboration is a thing. So by now I've collaborated with 40 plus brands and it's just very amazing to tell that you can actually get paid more if you are a very authentic and credible creator. So you don't need to pitch yourself to the brands, but these brands would automatically come to you. So now I work with agencies and all these brand collaborations take place. I've just started to charge much higher and I couldn't believe that you can actually get paid just because of your credibility. So for the most, I would say a brand would come to you if you are more credible, if you have a credibility, if you have a unique story to share. If the content that you're posting, people are actually engaging with it. You not only followers, I would say followers is not the criteria for brand collaboration. Most of the people think that if you have 1 lakh or 2 lakh followers, you would be making a great sum of money. You can even charge 10 to 12,000 at just 50,000 or just 40,000 if you have a solid credibility. So you can earn more money if you have a solid credibility and people actually know you. So for me, I personally think that there's no case if you have 2 lakh followers or 1 lakh followers and nobody knows what you're doing. You're not inspiring anyone, you're not educating anyone. But if you're a solid creator with even 50,000 followers, but people know your name, people know from where you came, people know your journey, brands would pay you much more than you what you actually deserve. So brand collaboration is a very different game, and only 1% of the people are actually creating content on LinkedIn. And on the top of that, if you are an authentic creator and you're even getting brand collaborations, so just so insane. For me, it's very insane. Like I could actually pay my bills. Like brands are actually coming. So the fact that most of the people think that I don't know what my relative might think, what my colleagues might think, what my friends might think, I don't think so. Their opinions are paying your bills. The fact that you start your content creation journey is just because you really want to see yourself at a place. So I basically started with no intent. I had no intention of making money on LinkedIn, but now I would say it was just destiny that it brought me here. But yeah, brand collaboration is a solid game and it can work very good for you if you are a very authentic creator. But on the top of that, if you're someone who really just chases followers or likes, it won't work because brands right now are literally looking for your authenticity and credibility and your expertise rather than just your followers. I've noticed most of the brands that I've worked with, they are ready to pay you more because of how you're presenting yourself or how your journey has been. So I think that works the best on LinkedIn. Just not chase followers or just not chase brands, but let your content speak for you so that brands can automatically come. There have been so many brands that I've just directly received. There have been agencies that I've been directly pitched to, and I was not chasing. The moment I stopped chasing, it was the moment that I started to get those things. So I would say that if you're still stuck in that mindset, what might other people say of me? Trust me, the moment you leave that comfort zone, all of the things would just become so good, and it can pay your bills. Like brand collaboration can pay your bills, and you can even get speaker invites. You can even get invited to so many big opportunities that you might have never even thought of. So for me, LinkedIn was a complete game changer. I don't think so. My CV could give me such better results than a LinkedIn profile has given me. So it's a game changing platform.
Amazing. Um, in today's day and age, with the rise of short format content, it feels as if all the forms of social media that we have today, the different platforms, they are directing towards one common, platform. In the sense, like we see short format content everywhere, be it YouTube, be it Instagram, be it LinkedIn, Facebook, and of the likes. In your personal opinion, what kind of content works best on LinkedIn? Is it our regular static post? Is it creating videos? Or is it just a write up, document, or what exactly? What is your personal take on that?
So I would say on LinkedIn, your content piece, I would say the written content piece, written content in format of written way works the best. Video post and static posts are the general written based post only, but I would say video content does not work. But recently LinkedIn had this feature where we were able to post that short form videos and all of that. The way you are able to share your personal journey, your experiences, storytelling and personal branding is something that works best on LinkedIn, irrespective of what you come from or irrespective what your journey has been. But for me, particularly storytelling and sharing my personal journey has worked wonders. Like I never had a specific niche. Like I was never into this finance background or marketing background. I just knew that I have some unique stories to share and people can find it very relatable. So I would say if you have something unique to share, you can start creating content on LinkedIn. And storytelling is right now that can make you go viral. Even it can make you so much onto bigger perspectives. I think storytelling is the key, or personal branding is the key. So if you are really stuck onto that mindset that I really need to figure out myself and I really need to have that solid one niche, maybe marketing, finance, or anything else, just don't. Just start writing or sharing about your own journey. That works the best. And even brands have this thing that they look for credibility more than your followers. If suppose I am having 30,000 followers and if I say a brand that I charge 10,000, they would be ready to pay me just because of my credibility and my unique story. But on the top of that, I have some about 1 lakh followers and I tell them that I'll charge 10,000, they won't pay me, irrespective of my followers. I've seen so many creators, they have about 1 lakh to 2 lakh, they charge almost just 2,000 to 3,000. And that's the case in this industry. The more credible you are, the more brands can literally pay you. And more than that, it just means that you know your worth, you know how good you are and how you can pitch yourself to brands. So for me, I would say that even if you have nothing to share, even if you are not a very big industry leader, you don't have 20 to 30 years of experience in the industry, you are just a normal student just like me. If you are a normal student of college, you have just left your job, you are in your 20s, just start writing about it. That I'm just starting my new job today, and this was my day one. I'm just starting my college today, and this was my day one. Today, all of these events took place. So just start documenting your life, and slowly, you will see people would start liking that journey, and eventually, you have a lot of followers. But if you will just wait that I need to have a solid industry experience, I need to be a founder of a company, or I need to be a co founder, you will never eventually grow. You can even start from zero and become something.
There is actually data which says that people scroll fast on LinkedIn. And with the new age AI tools that is available for people to, write, there is a lot of fluff out there, which is repurposed content. Somewhere originality is being lost. And, I don't feel like reading every other post that I see on LinkedIn. And that's where I go back to seeing the short format content once again. So, what works best to write an impactful LinkedIn piece?
I started my LinkedIn content creation journey when I was almost 23. It's been 2 years now. I'm on LinkedIn. So I would feel that when I initially started, I used to write every post on my own. There was no AI. I don't think so. AI was there at that time.
2022 November is
Yeah,
when
I don't think so.
ChatGPT
And even
launched.
if it was there, I wasn't using any AI. I used to write every single post on my own, then just copy that post from Grammarly to just check if I'm having any grammatical errors or punctuation errors, and then just post. Literally for whole 1 year, I did the same thing, and all of my posts were written by me only. All of these posts, if you even see, if you just scroll back to even my first to 10 posts, all of them are having my own unique journey, nothing else. Just start being real on this platform. Now AI is there. Of course, I would also say now even I use AI because it's the thing when you reach a good amount of followers, you eventually start using it. So now everyone is using the AI. But I would say AI would not give you that personal human touch that you are able to give. So initially when I started, I used to write all of my posts on my own, and still all of the post is having my own unique journey. So the AI doesn't know what is your unique journey. The AI doesn't has that personal human touch. So I would say if someone has to start, just start making posts based upon your own unique journey. If you have something inspiring to share, if you have something unique to share, because AI would give you the same results. If you are posting something, suppose from AI you are posting a content piece on marketing, even the other person can post that because the results are basically the same. But if you're a kind of a person who is sharing your own unique journey, suppose how I wasn't great in college, but now I've been invited into a MBA college to give a speaker talk. So this is something people would come to you again and again, and they would be surprised to know that even if you were not good in college, how are you being invited into that MBA college? So that's what can make you very unique, because there are literally so many people who want to start content creation. There are so many people. What makes you stand unique? It's just your own unique story. And I would feel like for me, what worked the best, and for me that in 2 years I was able to get on to almost 50,000, and not only 50,000, I won't give my followers credit, and I don't think so followers is a good way to present yourself, but I would feel I became very credible because I started to share my own personal journey. And that's why the only DMs I get is your journey really inspired me to do. Your journey was really inspiring, so that even I can leave my home, my conservative background, my conservative family, and start something new. So I would say AI would give you the same result, but if you as a person is just giving something it a human touch, or there's something unique to you, you can just have a personal story for share. I suppose there are a lot of creators with 50,000 LinkedIn followers. What makes you unique? How would you know that who is she? So the fact that you have a strong credibility and you people actually know you is something that can make you stand out from the rest of the crowd on LinkedIn.
I could totally relate to that because 6 years ago, when I started my content creation journey, there was a time when I used to spend a week or let's say 15 days to research about a certain content piece, eventually script it down, make a video about it, put it out there through manual editing, and finally wait for people to see the content and enjoy some good comments or even feel demotivated by the negative comments that used to come along. But in today's day and age, if I had to make that, it would take me hardly 5 minutes to make a script with the modern tools that I have. But the difference between that content and this content is that the old content feels completely exclusive to me. I feel as if I'm the sole creator of that content and that content piece belongs to me. But with the AI generated content, it feels as if it is someone else's. As a creator, there is no creative satisfaction that I enjoy largely. In the similar way, on LinkedIn today, there is a lot of content, repurposed content, copied content, or something which is largely taken from somewhere else. And those are being redefined through the help of AI and put out there. Every single person that I see feels like a writer on LinkedIn these days. There was a meme which came out when I think ChatGPT, the servers were down, saying that it was the end of LinkedIn influencers. In your opinion, what is the difference between creating a personal brand that people see and creating a personal brand that truly lasts for a longer period of time?
Most of us have heard this thing that the lifespan of creators is not very long. Mostly for 2 to 3 years you can last, and after that you might get bored or you will have burned out and you won't be able to be long lasting. So I would say people just chase trends. Trends can never make you timeless, and you will get a lot of followers, likes, comments simultaneously. But what makes you unique? People would almost just forget you after that trend, and after that reel went viral. I have one reel on my Instagram that has 3 million views, but it never bought me any followers or any solid community. But still it just has the views. What will I do from the views if I'm not having any followers? My followers are just stuck into 3000. There is no increase in the followers. So I would say if you are constantly chasing trends, you would get burned out very fast, because after that you would not be having anything to share with. What would do you share? Even if there's AI and you will give AI all of the outputs, but still you will feel very bored. For me, what works is personal branding, my unique story, my credibility, expertise, storytelling. And personal branding is something that is very timeless, because I would say what's unique to me is very different to you. You might not have that same story that I'm having, and that's what makes me unique. So it would always make me unique. Every time someone comes to me, they only tell me that, I also got placed in Accenture and I'm also not having a tech background, and it makes me feel relatable to you. I know how it feels, and it just makes me so happy that you were also not having that background, and I just feel so happy. But on the other hand, you are someone who is just following trends. You're just posting the same, I would say the same scripts from the AI, or maybe the same post. So, for how long would you sustain in the game? Even brands see your credibility more than your followers and likes. The fact that people know your name and the people know that what journey you are carrying is something what makes you a creator. Because obviously there are so many creators right now, and it's so difficult for us to even step into the game and to actually have a large amount of followers. So just pick your own unique point. If you're someone who is just chasing trends, it would not make you timeless. But if you're someone who is just having a unique purpose, or I would say you are storytelling in a way that makes you feel remembered, that would work the best.
So, Anushka, from your entire journey, from a tier 3 college to landing a job at Accenture without any tech background to becoming a LinkedIn creator that you are today, there is one very powerful thing that I have taken up, which is how life can change if you go deeper into your one core expertise. In your case, it was all about personal branding and personal insights that you wanted to share to the people. And there is an actual theory which proves this from the book The One Thing by Gary Keller, which is called as a domino effect, which says that instead of mastering 10 different skills, you actually master one skill. And that one skill helps you master the other remaining 9 skills. So your first major skill, which was in your case was all about personal branding, that serves as a first domino. जिस तरह domino effect होता है, the dominoes fall one after the other after being hit by the previous one. The first domino in your case, which was all about personal branding, that serves as the strongest one, which in turn helps you get other opportunities. So personal branding is what got you to MBA colleges as a speaker. At the same time, if I go a little bit further, you're being invited to podcast as a speaker, and other brand collaborations that has followed along with your journey. So it only shows that how can life change when you go deep into one key expertise that you largely want to cover, and life just becomes bigger and better, and with time other things just follows. On that note, as we come to the end of this masterclass, this is something that I ask all my guests, and I should ask you as well. If you had to look back at your journey until now, from a tier 3 college to landing a job at Accenture and to the LinkedIn creator that you are right now, what is that one message or takeaway that you want to give to the people, the 20-year-olds who are watching this right now?
So I would only say just start. If you want to start that business, just start. If you want to start posting content out there, just start. If you want to start something in of your own, just start. If you want to try out new hobbies, just start. The thing that most of us don't start at something because we think that we really need to be very great in starting out something. So for a girl like me who literally had, like, I don't come from a privileged background. I come from a small city. I wanted to go to Delhi University, but I couldn't. So I had this all of these insecurities, and I got into a very depressed phase that I don't think so I could ever do anything big in my life. But the fact that I am getting all of these opportunities literally from zero, so it's just so amazing. And the fact that it was possible was just because of this one step of making that first content piece in 2023 on my bed. And I never knew that destiny would just turn my life up around. So I would say, if you really want to start something and you are very insecure, I was also a very insecure child growing up. I was never like this. It's just been 2 to 3 years that I've transformed myself. So if you really want to start something, just start without possibly thinking what might relatives think. Your friends might laugh at you. They would give negative comments. They would tell you that why are you creating content and why are you behaving in a very different way. And the best thing is that start in your early 20s. I started when I was like 23, the content creation journey, and even in corporate I went when I was 22. So I initially started very young and got to see all of these experiences, which really made me confident now. So I would say, just start, do that job, leave that job, start making content, but just start, because at the end of the day, when you'll see yourself in your 30s or your 40s, you'll thank yourself. And I'm so glad that I started, and it eventually changed my entire life.
So start when you're hungry and young, and in your early
Don't think too
20s, that
much.
is the best time to start. Thank you so much, Anushka, for sharing your journey and insights with us.
Thank you to you too for inviting me.
And hopefully, this episode serves as a blueprint to all the young people who are watching this, and at the same time, the people who are in the same position as you were a few years ago, and how potentially they can see their life changing with time by taking that first step, as you very rightly mentioned. Thank you so much once again, ladies and gentlemen. This was Anushka Jain, the masterclass.